the nitty gritty. Let's do it. So a cooperative managed by the board of directors, but the key decisions are really made by the members. Directors are subject to their common law duties as well as their cooperative national law duties. The main way that directors are going to communicate with members is through the AGM, right? You must have an AGM within 18 months of registration and then within 5 months of the end of each financial year. That's 252 of the CNL. The main business of the AGM, up there, confirm the minutes of the last meeting, elect the directors, inform the members of the cooperative activities, appoint the external auditor, amend the rules, set the fees, and then present all the financial statements. More than that, it's the forum where you should be encouraging questions from your members. You need to be asking them to comment on these. I've seen so many AGMs of corporate entities that last 5 minutes because they say, any questions? Nope. Papers accepted? Yes. Everyone goes out and have a coffee. That's great, but there's really no interaction. What you should be doing as the board is opening up to questions, prompting it. This is why we did it, explaining the reasonings behind it. The board ultimately has the decision for the day-to-day management of the cooperative, but it should be held accountable and it should offer and encourage participation. So quorum is really important. Your rules will specify what the quorum for the AGM is or the general meeting. The CNL does not require a particular minimum because obviously each cooperative is going to be different. And the quorum can be via those attending in person, those attending via technology, or those attending by proxy, but only if your rules allow proxy votes. If the quorum is not present, you'll have to adjourn it to another time and place. So, first question of the day. You start off with an AGM, you've got quorum, and then you notice some people leave. What do? You have to maintain it for the whole meeting because the CNL actually says in 255.2, any item of business must not be transacted unless there is a quorum for that actual item of business. So if those people leave, you go round them up and pull them back in because you need them the whole way. So if you're looking at setting a quorum, and as part of good governance, I'd be saying review your rules at least once every 12 months. Make sure they still work for you. They still speak to how you interact. Look at your quorum. See how many people are actually showing up in an AGM. Maybe you set it lower, maybe you set it higher, but with enough wiggle room that you're going to make it at all times. So you've then also got this additional obligation that you've got to report to the registrar within 28 days about the actual AGM and submit your annual report. So while the AGM is the primary means of communication with your members once a year, you've also got the general meetings, and you should use them as much as you can and as much as is appropriate. It's a different avenue to communicate now. You might have other means of communications, newsletters, flyers, forums, information sessions. It could be in the form of a general meeting or not. General meetings, really, you would only formally call them if you had an item of business you needed to transact. But you really need to be communicating on an ongoing basis. When and how can general meetings be called? It's 14 days notice for a general meeting with ordinary business, but it's 21 days notice for certain items. So if you propose to remove a director or appoint a director, it has to be 21 days notice. If you want to have a special resolution, then it has to be 21 days notice. So it's not always going to be a 14. And those are mandatory times set by the CNL, and they're floor mandatories. Notice can be used by post, that's most traditional, but the CNL allows for all sorts of technology, so email, fax, if you still use that. You can do actually advertisements in the local paper, that's one form of notice. Whatever's going to work for your community and the number of members that you have at any one time.